Hello, my name is Massimo Garcia, and I will be presenting my speech on why people should not play tackle football. Tackle football is one of America's most favorited and most watched sports across the nation. Many people enjoy playing it as much as they do watching it. But what if I told you that there were risks involving people playing this sport, from pro athletes to high school sports to even children? These risks involve injuries, brain damage, and even death. The injury side of this sport, the injury side of football is that people can get injured and they can end really badly. Many of these injuries can involve your career being ended and even your childhood being ended. Many people have suffered these types of injuries that have caused their careers to end and have affected their childhood. According to Kathleen Baklishki from Stat News, a Mississippi teenager who played quarterback for his local high school was hit to the ground and left unconscious as he suffered two broken vertebrae on his neck, which left him unconscious and had CPR to be performed on the field, had to be flown out to his local hospital to seek as fast as possible medical attention, and waited to be recovered for days. Unfortunately, he was left paralyzed from the neck down as his two neck vertebrae could not malfunction anymore. This is life and death. These injuries are life and death. These injuries can end your career or they can end your life, which is very devastating for people at a young age and even athletes who are pursuing their career in it. Here it shows the top 5 sports and injuries from ages to 0 to 19, which is mainly children and high school football players. As you can see, football is right around 1,400, where the closest is rugby, which has not even surpassed 600, meaning that football in high school and involving children is one of the most injured sports that can happen to anyone. Brain damage. Brain damage involves a lot of hits to the head, since that's how people mainly get tackled in football. They go for the head because that helps them bring them down. But many of these hits can cause a lot of concussions and bleeding. And there's one disease that can affect many people, and it does affect many NFL players, which is called chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which is called CTE. This brain injury involves many malfunctions that can happen to the brain, which can cause it to stop and malfunction really weird. This type of disease causes depression, anxiety, loss of controlness, and depression. This causes a lot more diseases in the person's brain, but it also affects their life. According to Dr. Ann McKee, a neuroorthopedist for the New York Times, she examined 111 brains of NFL players. When the results came back, 110 of these brains had suffered CTE, meaning one lucky NFL player was not diagnosed with this disease, which is pretty astonishing to me because many football players get hit in the head, which is not surprising to see all of them have this disease, which is very dangerous. This disease has caused many people to retire from their injuries from playing sports, such as Antonio Brown, who was a receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Rob Gronkowski, who was a Super Bowl champ that retired at age 30. These two men retired at underneath the age 30. Even Calvin Johnson Jr., who was also a Super Bowl champion. Death. This part of the football injuries is very rare, but it's still a risk. According to Dr. Anderson for theguardian.com, 33 NCAA players have been killed on the field since the year 2000 to 2016, which means that's 2 people who have been killed per season. 6 of these deaths were considered to be traumatic, and the rest of these were causes of death from collisions to the chest, which affect the heart, and collisions to the brain. There has been one death in the NFL by the name of Charles Hughes, who played wide receiver in the NFL in the 1970s, who got hit very, very badly in the head and died on the field. So in conclusion, these three factors are which are really devastating for people to not play tackle football, and this is why you should consider not playing tackle football or even try playing flag football. Nonetheless, play another sport which involves less contact and that is much safer. Thank you.